Chapter 1256. Watch out, Master Pen. Robert could not help but call out to Wilbur. Kimura's tremendous power, coupled with his new gigantic form, undoubtedly gave the onlookers some pressure. The sight of the gigantic hands clawing out at Wilbur made everyone's hearts lurch. With how terrifying Kimura's new form looked, there was no doubt that his defenses would be on another level as well. It seemed like even Wilbur's thunder bombs would hardly be able to do a thing to Kimura. Of course, Wilbur's strongest move hardly stopped at the thunder bombs. Kimura knew as well that someone capable of activating the thunder bombs just like that had to be one of the stronger ones among the sanctuary-level cultivators. That was why Kimura had activated his domain at the first attack. The ivory elephant was one of Shia's most powerful gods and was said to be capable of splitting the heavens and earth. Despite the fact that Kimura was using hidden spells to summon this Goldie force, the power it gave him was undoubtedly terrifying. It felt like even someone of super sanctuary level would not be able to match his level. Kimura was nothing but confident in his own power. Just as Kimura was about to land the fatal blow on Wilbur, he finally moved. Wilbur summoned the historical halberd in one swift move, giving it a soft shake. The halberd grew over 12 meters long, burning brightly with multicolored spiritual flames. Tyrant's gaze. God slashing slash. Wilbur had activated his domain in the blink of an eye. The shadow of a tyrant standing over 12 meters tall appeared behind him, staring at Kimura. A violently overwhelming spiritual pressure spread out, and Kimura's giant hands seemed to stop under the Emperor's stony gaze. However, Kimura let out a wild roar the next second as he continued to claw at Wilbur with the same hands. The air rang with explosive sounds, threatening to deafen the onlookers. The historical halberd in Wilbur's grasp began to shake violently. He let out a roar as the halberd spun in his grasp. Wilbur pounced on Kimura's gigantic form, bringing the halberd down heavily. The historical halberd weighed several tons and was infused with Wilbur's spirit energy, dragon energy, and thunder energy. The god-slaying slash continued to tremble as it swung toward Kimura, threatening to destroy everything in its wake. Even the heavens appeared to be ripped apart by this power. Kimura was shocked by the sight. Why did the power of this attack feel even stronger than that of his godly elephant? Amidst his shock, Kimura let out a roar of fury as he continued clawing at Wilbur with his enormous hands. The shadow of the elephant behind him let out a loud trumpet, charging towards Wilbur. The god-slaying slash struck the incoming elephant. It let out a cry of agony, exploding into the air in the form of rampant spiritual energy that soared into the sky, bringing about strong winds that tore through the clouds. However, Wilbur's god-slashing slash had also been deflected. Kimura put his hands together. It looked like he was ready to crush Wilbur at any second. The crowd's hearts dropped to their stomach once more. Just then, however, Wilbur let out an explosive cry as the dragon's head on his back lit up. A terrifying force appeared around Wilbur at once. This seemed to stop Kimura's hands from getting to Wilbur, unable to close once they got to about 1 meter away from Wilbur. Kimura was in shock. How could someone match his level in terms of power? At the same time, Wilbur smirked coldly. Infernal Thunder Dragon. Damnation of the Thunder God. Lost Slayer.